So hey guys, welcome to Appalachia's Homestead. Welcome back to the channel. Give me a hug. What you doing? This weather is disgusting. Did you have a good Thanksgiving? What'd you do? What did you do? What all did you do? Did you eat? Did you hang out with family, friends? Did you play Rook, Monopoly, watch football, hang out, rest, all of the above? I hope so. I hope so. I was praying for y'all and that you would have a restful time period. I know that we've had a lot go on in the past. Well, it's every day. Is it not every day? It's every day. It's every day. Especially the day before Thanksgiving. And I took a break from filming for just a couple of days. I've been popping in and on social media a little bit and whatnot, posting. But I decided to go ahead and just sort of lay it down for a couple of days. Actually, we've been really busy like you guys. And, you know, that you just get to a point where you finally go, I can only do so much. And I hate to film and it be like 7 days later that I edit it. And that happens sometimes, but at the same time, I really like to make a video and edit. My goal is always I like to film that day and edit and either get the video up that day or the next day. I mean, if it's clearly something, you know, cooking or around the farm or whatever, a little delay is no big deal. But sometimes you want to get stuff up immediately and sometimes you just can't do it. I mean, it's just what it is, right? So we had a great Thanksgiving, got together with family and friends, and overall, I behaved pretty good as far as eating. And here we are, the last day of November, guys. We're going into December. We are literally going into December tomorrow. So you'll either see this video tonight or on tomorrow, which is December 1st. And I really, really, really want to talk about a lot of things. I've been thinking about a lot of things. And it's interesting. It's like God knows exactly how to talk to you, right? Like, you know, I just felt this need, like many of you go through this, I'm sure you have, you go through these time periods where you're like, you know, you're not mad, you're not upset, you're just a little more quiet. And I think a lot of people are being seasoned and being prepped into what a lot of you may be hearing. It's a common word now, to elevate, right? And your glow up, your elevation. And I think a lot of you are going through that. It is like we've all together in some way or form felt like we've, within the last 3, 6, 12 months, it's like all of a sudden, it's like we have a different response to things than we would have, say, 3 years ago. I think we all have been through so much mentally and spiritually over the last 5 to 6 years in particular, that you finally get to a point and you go, you know what? I can only control what I can control. And the harder I try to grip onto anything else, it doesn't change it in a lot of ways, and it makes it much harder on me, right? And we always get thrown into this world of chaos because the world of the enemy wants to keep you in chaos. You being disciplined and having a form of order and schedule and resolve and marching forward works against those who work for the enemy. They try to throw you off of your game, okay? All right? That's exactly what the enemy tries to do. And the enemy just doesn't just show up with little devil horns on and does it. No, there's always these little disruptions. And it may not even be obvious, but it may also come through other people. So you have to make a decision of what am I going to allow and what am I going to focus on. And, you know, as we've been discussing here very openly within the past, well, let's see, July, August, September, October, November. Well, it's 4 to 5 months now, right? I've been pretty open about the changes I feel I'm going through, have been through, and the decisions that I'm making. And the most powerful part of this, which a lot of you have seen, is that when you do that and you pull yourself in without effort, you start pulling others in. You may not fully see it and you may not fully immediately know it, but eventually you will. And those that have been called to action as well, they're going to rise up too. See, we're all going through this together, one in different phases, in different stages. You know, somebody said, I've noticed something. It's kind of funny. And I just want to say, I'm going to say this. You know, every now and then you do get people that will say strange, maybe passive aggressive, prodding type things to you or questions. And, you know, a lot of times it comes from women. And it'll be something to the effect of, well, I'm glad you're finally getting to the spot where I've been for years. I've been doing that for years. You know, I just want to tell you that a lot of people right now, there's a lot of Pharisees. There's a lot of Pharisees. And what you need to know, which you already deep down know, is that when you decide that you are going to literally live by your boundaries and take control back over what you subject yourself to, what you absorb as opposed to observe, the line in the sand, what you choose to put in and on and around your body, where you choose to spend your time. That persecutes a lot of people. And so, therefore, it challenges people's spirits, especially when changes really become evident, whether it's your happiness, whether you start to glow per se, whether you lose weight, whether you start to, and hopefully gain muscle, you're just a happier person. That really rocks the spirit of people, okay? But I'm challenging myself in multiple ways for the whole month of December. Okay, I'm not high pressure on myself, but I have come up with a couple of challenges, and that starts tomorrow. I've already kind of started a little bit of it, but it was to prep me into finishing up November, to go strong and to go hard the last month of the year, because I think 2026 is going to be a very trying year. And what I'm choosing to do right now is to, you know, as opposed to reading you and talking about all the headlines every day and feeling like we are stuck in an apocalypse all the time, you know, here's the thing. We may be. But who are we going to choose to be in this time period? And who are we choosing to be to prepare us for when times get even tougher than what we may be experiencing today? So that's what this is all about. So the enemy doesn't want you doing that. I don't mean this with condescension, but do I say that correctly? So even people that will, you've seen this whole thing, what's called, what is it called? Mean girl Christians, Christian mean girls. It's a very real thing. And so, and it is with dudes too. It's with betas as well. Alpha men, true alpha men are too busy. True alpha women, people that are succeeding, people that are trying, people that are busy, they don't have time to knock you off your pedestal. So the first thing that, you know, you need to recognize is that if you're going to put yourself to a challenge, people are going to, there's going to be a handful of people. It could be in your own family, it could be your sister, it could be your brother, it could be your neighbor. You're going to start seeing some, not initially, but when the changes come, the pot shots are going to be there. And I think some people have a hard time with things like that. So that's why I mention it from time to time, is because I know you are hungry for this type of change. And I know you want to do these things. But a lot of times people don't have confidence. See, that's why the enemy attacks. Let's say you have a social media page and you start making lots of changes. And let's say you lose 50 pounds. Okay. You reverse your diabetes. You start showing up. You know, and it's like, whoa. See, when you start sharing that glory, when you start sharing the word of God, when you start sharing your success, the devil doesn't want anybody else to know that that exists. And so what do? They attack you. They attack that person. Not just me, it's everybody. This is a common theme that I'm seeing. Even it blows my mind in some ways. But now I've come to realize this is just part of it. And it's really not about that influencer. And it may not even necessarily be about you. See, they already know you've won and they know you're winning. They would like to take you down. obviously. But in the process, the ultimate thing that it's trying to do is trying to get you to stop glowing up, showing up, and spreading the word. Be it about Jesus, be it about mental clarity, spiritual strength, all of the above. So when you share something positive, even if it's hard, even if you don't necessarily like it, but you know you should do it because it's fueling your elevation, they have to be negative, especially on a social and a media platform, because it's discouraging other people from doing it. It also discourages people from sharing their journey as well, because see, a lot of people will take the attitude of, I'm just not going to say anything, I'm not going to share anything, I'm not going to talk about it because I don't want to get attacked like that. See, it shuts you down and you don't get to share your glow up, which God is trying to use you to encourage others to do so as well. So what am I doing for December? I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. I'm hoping to be perfect at it. That's not the goal. So between tomorrow and the 24th, I hope to, we're going. Did you catch that? We're going to read chapter day by day, 1 through 24, the entire Gospel of Luke. And it's Christmas time, and it's a beautiful time of year. Well, the weather, not so much today, but that is a goal number one in spending time with God, right? The next thing that I am doing up until January 1st or 2nd is I am eating a can of sardines every single day. I don't know if you're familiar with Dr. Boz. Here's what's so funny. This kind of relates. So this has been 2 or 3 months ago. This is why I have some shorts and some reels and whatnot, making fun of eating sardines, because I started dabbling in this, eating sardines, specifically back in the summertime. And I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of you that like sardines, but there's a lot of you that don't. And it's, I'm not here to really care either way. What you do or don't do is your business. But people will attack you for this. Is that not the dumbest thing you've ever heard in your life? I know, it's ridiculous. All of it is. But see, sardines, if you listen to Dr. Boz, I highly encourage you to go to her YouTube channel. She has some incredible videos. I just discovered her in the past week and a half, and I've really dug in on her content. She was on a podcast last week. I'll link it down below. It's all about ketogenics, being keto. It's a very long podcast. It is so educational in terms of insulin resistance, diet, and body. And it's not just about what you should do. It's about why things manipulate and make you chronically ill, make us sick like they do. Things that she suggests to very ill patients, and even just, people that are moderately to good, having good health, but they need to change. Man, she breaks it down like no other. And she has an interesting backstory of her own life in this too. But I'll link that down below. I think that podcast already has like 1.7 million views. It's worth every minute of your time. I'm listening to it right now for the 3rd time because I have to listen to it for so long, and then I have to stop, and then I pick it back up again. And because she explains so much that's happening to all of us, whether you know it or not. And that's what's so amazing. In some of the things she talks about, I go, okay, that explains why my vitamin D shot up to way over 100. Right? Remember, I've told you this back when I started doing all this in July, and by the time I got to my doctor in September, she was like, your vitamin D, she's like, wow. It's because of the way my body released it, et cetera, et cetera. Listen to the podcast. She goes into all this about your hormones. It's incredible. Guys, I'm telling you right now, ladies, it is worth your time. It's worth your time. Guys, too. My husband's listening to it for the 2nd time. It's worth every penny of free here on YouTube, but it's worth the penny of your time, okay? So my point is I'm really into sardines, and I didn't even know this was a thing. I did not know this was a thing. She does sardine challenges with people, 3-day fast with sardines, and so I went, you know what? The Lord put this out in front of all of us. Jesus ate sardines. I'm eating sardines for one full meal once a day. Maybe I'll do more later, but for the entire month of December. I want to see what it can do to me in a positive way. I think it's going to be awesome. I want to continue to experience what I kind of already know, but I want to see how far I can go, right? So I'm pushing further with my diet. You know, I was really curious to see how I would respond on Thanksgiving, because a lot of people say, well, I want to do these things, but I don't know, I'm going to have too many weaknesses around the holidays. Well, you're choosing, don't get mad at me. You're so mean to people. No, I'm telling you the truth. You can make lots of changes and find little ways to help yourself and all that. I did. We didn't fall off on Thursday. We fell right back into where we needed to be on Friday. So pray about it, okay? Just because you're going into December does not mean you have to put down your elevation. You just have to choose differently, right? And that's what we're doing. So that's going to be my focuses. And, you know, I'm going to be here with videos and on Facebook and Instagram and doing all the things that we're doing. But I just feel really positive about this month. And I know this is the message that we need to have together to finish this year off, not get sucked into the minutia. We will still discuss the hard issues. But when you can get control of how you are handling them, folks, it's saving your life, okay? The stress of the world is not just something that we're enduring, it's all generations. You know, and we can talk about all the foods that we eat. And some people still ask me, they're like, well, you make this and you're right. I'm changing a lot of things. We should, when people have awakenings and they come out of, you know, I don't want to say, in short, I don't want to say that I've ever been in denial about the things that are happening to our food supply. I've never had denial about it. But I think it's fair to say for myself and for anyone that until you experience something on your own, it's just not the same. You can sit here and tell me all about your experience if you, say, have cancer. I've never had cancer. Knock on wood, praise the Lord, you know, all the rebuke it, Lord. I'm just saying, but until I walk in those shoes and see it for myself, either through a firsthand with my own body or even with maybe a spouse, somebody really close, it's kind of hard to understand, even though you know all these things about it. So when I started seeing what chronic stress has done to me and to my family over the last 5 years, since 2020, and I had what I call my great awakening in terms of my connection to God, to Jesus, it's like it all came together in one piece. And this is not about being perfect. This is about a great awakening. So somebody will say to you, like some people like to say to me, and I go, listen, Pharisee, you can persecute me all day long. I'm fully aware of what bioengineered foods are. I'm fully aware of how things exist, of choices, but maybe I thought I could pull it off better. And for a long time I did. But also with that conversation, here's the real scary part of all of it. None of us are pulling it off anymore. You know, we talk about the things that we could do when we were 15, 20, 30 years old. I can't do that anymore. Well, I hate to tell you, your 15, 20, and 30-year-old aren't pulling it off anymore either. We are so poisoned. Things are so processed. Things are so out of whack by the enemy's design that it's affecting all of us. We do not get away with, even if we are super healthy. We really don't. We might a little bit longer. We hit a wall. And I don't think we understand how soon many of us, even healthier folks, could hit walls, doing all the things, but yet still cheating along the way. What that really, I just don't think a lot of people fully understand how far gone a lot of things are. And that's not being ugly, and that's not being negative, and that's not being doomsday. This is where I have come to with my own experiences in my own life over the past, year. So if you want to say I'm late to the game, Okay. What I say back to you is, at least I'm here. And I hope you don't talk to people like that when they accept and when people accept the Lord Jesus Christ as their Savior. You know, there's a lot of people that don't get saved until literally they're on their deathbed. And, you know, I'd hate to think and know that I was the person that in those moments and in that elevation for that person, regardless of their circumstances, that I wanted to be the Pharisee persecuting them for being late. You're never too late. Just don't be afraid to be on time. So I want to invite you, as I am making this video as what I consider my kickoff to December, Deliverance December. For many of us Christians, we celebrate Christmas. And regardless of when Jesus was born, we celebrate his life every single day. He is the focus of this season. But at the same time, what would Jesus want us to be doing? And I think digging in on elevating ourselves so that we can serve him and testify for him and fight as a warrior for him in the times that we are living, I think that's the biggest honor there is. So wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I invite you to pray about that. Don't make this season about, the fun stuff, I get it. And I'm all there too. But at the same time, if it derails you from elevating, reassess how you can get a handle on that now so that doesn't happen. Okay? You know what you need to do. People ask me all the time, how do I do this? How do I do that? I think a lot of people know what they need to do. They need some minor details, but they want somebody to give them their permission in order to do so, to tell them it's okay to go against the norm, you don't have to do this. You don't have, be present. Be smiling. Get a jump on 2026 before it gets a jump on you. I think that's what this December, that's what I'm making it about. And I invite you to make it the same. So make some challenges for yourself, small little deals, and stick with it. So when the new year comes, you're going to be ready to roll. Like, subscribe, and share. Pray, prep, and be peaceful. I know there's a lot of things in the news, a lot of stressors right now. I'm fully on point. And again, I realized that with the evolution that I'm trying to share with you and I'm encouraging you to embrace, I have to admit to you, I've handled a lot of stressors that we've seen over even the last week so much better than I would have 2 years ago. And I do believe that my time with God, time with my husband, focus on my diet, hitting the gym. Folks, I'm sleeping better, getting up earlier, eating better and more than I have in years. And I cannot stress to you the positive changes that's made, so that when something were to ever happen, when something negative ever happens, we are healthier and we are more positive and we are ready to armor up. Like, subscribe, and share. Pray, prep, and be peaceful. I've missed you. There's another hug. A lot of videos coming up. You ready for them? Let's roll. I'll see you on the next video.